It's your boy, Amreezy, and I'm back with another Road to Sorare Boss episode where we follow my journey in the wonderful world of Sorare. Get comfortable. If you're into Sorare, if that's your kind of thing, stick around. Let me know what you think. I appreciate all the advice I've always been given in the past. Love looking up random players you guys recommend in the comments. Appreciate the likes and subscribes. Helps me grow, helps Sorare community grow. Keep it up. So where are we in the world of Sorare? I basically have found myself in a position where in recent weeks, having moved to all my focus now being in Premier League in season and just throwing out classic lineups where we have cards left, that kind of thinking and kind of having a lot of Wolves cards, West Ham classic cards, Wolves and West Ham, two crazy teams to be backing right now. And basically all I'm hoping for is they both sack their managers, they both get new managers, and then they have a turn in form, then they both suddenly become really good football clubs and I win prizes every week. That's kind of the dream, but it is strange. And that's kind of one of the great things about Sorare is that I'm just really hoping these two teams sack their managers and get a good manager in. That never used to be the case. In previous years, when I wasn't playing Sorare, I wouldn't have cared, how soon Wolves sack their manager, how soon West Ham sack their manager, who they get in. I'd just be like, cool, it's part of the football. Yeah, another manager, great. But now I'm like really invested because if West Ham get a new manager in, he has a good manager bounce. I've got Bowen, I've got Kudos, I've got Kilman, I've got the two goalkeepers. I'm just waiting for West Ham to do well and Wolves to do well. So sort it out, Wolves. Sort it out, West Ham. Sack your managers already. Apart from that, okay week last week. Couple of boxes won. We're churning the essence. We're not crafting those T5 essences anymore, by the way, as well. Too many T5s of just literally players worth 60p. So let's save our essence. Let's be patient. Maybe we can wait a month or so and see if we're close to tier 2 or something. So essence strategy, we're going to save a bit. I have been focusing a lot more on rivals as well, putting a lot of effort in the last, say, 2 or 3 weeks in rivals, which I hadn't been doing before, but I've kind of worked out, a little bit how to play rivals. I think I've got a better strategy now. And I'm also playing when I have to, really looking at the leaderboard that I'm in, which division I'm in, and kind of saying like, okay, if I just get one win here, I go into the promotion places, or it's not worth playing a game here where I don't know about that league that much and I'll probably lose and then go down the table. So all of that's happening, but let's start off this week, as we always do, by looking at how I did last weekend in the wonderful, fun, glorious, exciting world of Sorare. Right then, this is how I did last weekend in what was November the 29th to the 3rd, and a Europe competition, a best of Europe competition, nothing to get too excited about there. We won a box in one of the specials. So I think I only entered one of the specials, and I only entered with one lineup that I kind of also thought was a bit of a serious lineup. And it was these guys, Kang In Lee, who I won 2 weeks ago, my best ever reward. He's kind of a PSG substitute who, when he plays, seems to do well. He's just not getting in that first team, which is quite annoying for me. If he breaks into that first team, I think his value would go up, but at the moment he's kind of just on the edge. He's about £6, worth about £6. So I'm kind of half trying to sell him and half trying to keep him, waiting to see if he has a really good run of form and then his value goes up. So he did well for me this week, helped win a box. Wesley Fofana as well. Chelsea surprisingly keeping a clean sheet at Aston Villa, delighted with that. And then the other boys getting okay scores. Oh, we did have a second special, but this wasn't a serious one. This was a really punty one. And as you can see here, not worth the punt, nowhere close. Then we get to our bread and butter Premier League in season, where I entered 3 lineups into Premier League in season and won 3 boxes from all lineups. So quite a good weekend when I consider that's my kind of aim, Premier League in season. If I can keep churning out these boxes, hopefully we're going to get somewhere. One of these weeks, players like Hudson-Odoi will deliver and we'll get a really good score. I mean, I got boxes in all of these lineups, and in all of the lineups, someone let me down massively, like Hudson-Odoi, 49. Terrible. Lewis Cook didn't play, even though, he was expected to probably play. I think most sites had him as a 75% chance of playing. I thought with my Bournemouth cards, it was worth the risk. He didn't play, so we're going to leave him out now until he's back to fitness, because now I think it's a two games he's missed with injury. So now it's a case of, okay, this injury is worse than they're saying, so I'll just start playing him once he's fully back in the team. And then in this lineup, I was let down by Fabianski big time. A 0 score from Fabianski. Dominguez, not a great score as well. He was on the bench, came off the bench. So Larson, the Wolves attackers are at least delivering. They didn't deliver midweek. Spoiler alert. Midweek, they lost to Everton 4-0. Just when I thought Wolves attackers might be on a bit of a run. Everton is a game when they could have at least got a goal or two, but no. But still, Larson and Cunha, I think, are good cards for me to have for when Wolves have better fixtures. And again, hopefully sack their manager soon. You know, no offense to the manager, no offense to Big Gary, but I want to see some results from my Sorare cards. And that does mean I need Wolves cards to change. And then my Premier League Classic, I have a lot of West Ham cards. Need them to change their manager too. Please, for my Sorare lineups, if nothing else. But yeah, Palmer doing well. Evan Nielsen doing well. Estupinan doing well. Estupinan's been quite a nice pickup. Brighton have got some good fixtures coming up. So I'm liking having Estupinan for those. He's very attacking. Getting good scores lately. I think he's bombing forward a lot. He's been given a bit of freedom down that left wing. So hopefully he can chip in with some more assists. He's still lacking a few goal involvements. Then in Classic, the Chelsea boys keep doing well, which is glorious for me. Dominic Solanke let down this lineup big time. So again, he's a bit like Lewis Cook. He was expected to play, bit of a fitness doubt. Now that he's not played, we're staying clear of Solanke until we definitely know he's back in the team. Cucurella, great game from Cucurella. Jackson, really good, looking good Jackson at the moment. I'm in a bit of a funny situation because if this kind of Chelsea 4 kind of needs Cole Palmer, but then my Premier League in-season teams kind of need Cole Palmer because it's my best classic card that I can play with 4 in-season cards. So I think there will be one week when Chelsea have a really good fixture when I might have to leave Palmer out if I can guarantee a really strong classic team. That will be the only time I think I'll ever take Cole Palmer out of the in-season lineups, but frustrating Solanke didn't deliver. Fulham at home. I was getting excited. And then there's a little hint of a West Ham card. Jared Bowen. When is he gonna have the manager and team form around him he deserves? Tottenham let me down here again. And then there were some challenger teams. So basically, I wasn't able to put out many challenger lineups or champion lineups. I'm mainly just playing the warm-up leagues in those leagues. Contender, I got a 3-star box in Division 1, which was very nice. Think I got a nice chunk of Essence. Unfortunately, was hoping for market credits on that one. But yeah, just scraped a 3-star box here. So that was good. And then there was an under 23 warm-up. And then training. So my lineups are being reduced, but I'm hoping that it's quality over quantity and that this Premier League strategy of going for Wolves' best strikers, Forest and Bournemouth, hopefully the fixture gods will align in the coming weeks and we'll hit the jackpot a bit more than these. But 3 boxes from all my Premier League lineups, can't complain too much. So that's how I did last weekend. There's a midweek games as well, which we're kind of in the middle of. There's Premier League midweek games, which is quite rare. So I've not started off too great in that, to be honest. Hudson-Odoi didn't play against Manchester City. Hilarious. He's no longer the guaranteed starting card I think I thought I had. Cole Palmer did well. Sells conceding 3, not a great score here. I then put some classic lineups, which Jackson didn't play for Chelsea. And so that lineup's not going to get anything good. This lineup, Nick Pope, 18 score from him, and then not too much. Hanging on to a 1-star box in that lineup. Maybe we'll get it because it was in Division 4. But we'll see. But Kudos came back in the team for West Ham this week, which was his first week back from his long suspension. Jared Bowen's a quality player. I just need West Ham to get going. Bowen, Kudos, Kilman, Fabianski. I've got them all waiting. And then we had some warm-up leagues as well. So yeah, nothing really to report midweek. Let's have a look at my lineups this weekend, where we're hoping possibly better than box rewards. Come on. Fingers crossed. Here we go. These are my lineups for the coming weekend. Let's go. Game week 33, December the 6th to the 10th. These are my lineups and my kind of thinking around them with the fixtures on screen that are kind of most important to me this weekend. My warm-up strategy is, as always, go for like 4 cards who have a good fixture. like this fixture here where you've got Eintracht Frankfurt who are second, playing Augsburg who are 13th at home. Nice little fixture lineup there. So I've gone for 4 of them. And a Hudson-Odoi, a kind of card that I'm not fully certain about anymore. Putting him in here is a bit of a gamble. I do think he'll play. I think maybe he was rested against Man City and then Manchester United he'll play. But because I'm not fully certain in him, I don't want to play him in an in-season lineup now. So he's in the throwaway warm-up lineup. And there's 2 specials this week. We've got a 260, cap 260, and we've got a anti-stacks. So I'm kind of taking the special competitions a little bit more seriously now because of my thinning of my gallery, focusing on in-season. My classic cards kind of aren't usually good enough now, especially with the Mexican teams having their fixtures reduced at the moment, especially Contender, and having moved away from Challenger. That's not really a region I play. The cards that I do have, like Thiago Silva is a really good Challenger defender. This goalkeeper is a good Contender goalkeeper. The kind of cards I have do fit quite nicely now into these special competitions that they keep having where I can mix and match Contender, Challenger. So I think I'm going to be taking this, and with me getting a box last weekend from the special competitions, it has made me kind of think, okay, maybe I take them a little bit more seriously than I have and kind of go Premier League in season, that's my priority, then Premier League Classic, then maybe instead of going for Classic and Challenger, look at the specials, put the best ones there, and then see if there's anything left in the in-season lineups or classic lineups. So, with that in mind, I think this is a fairly strong anti-stack special. These guys are usually top performers in the Contender Leagues or the Challenger Leagues in these 2 cards' case. And then there's a Premier League card where they're doing well. Enzo Fernandez is putting up some really good scores at the moment. He's playing much further forward for Chelsea. They're playing a slightly different formation with 2 players behind the striker most games. And Enzo Fernandez is playing kind of behind the striker rather than in the holding role where he had been before. So he's been doing well. He's been getting better scores. But it is Spurs away. Could go either way that game. London derby. So he's in this lineup. The other special lineup is a 260, which again, I think Piovi, really good defender. Although a tricky fixture against America, it is at home. Cruz Azul are having a good season. And Piovi is a good scorer on his day, so he's in there. This is my 1 Challenger goalkeeper, which means I won't have any Challenger Classic lineups. Pedro Neto, again, a bit of a gamble, a bit like Enzo Fernandez. On his day, high ceiling. If Spurs-Chelsea, this could be a really attacking game. That's kind of what I'm hoping for. I've kind of spread my Chelsea cards across a few lineups this weekend because I do think, even though it's an away fixture, I'm hoping that a lot of managers are off-put by that and don't go for Chelsea quite so much this weekend. And Spurs and Chelsea is a really high-scoring game. So with that in mind, Enzo in this team, Pedro Neto in this team, Conor Gallagher, the Pitbull, as they're calling him. Atletico Madrid have got a nice game against Sevilla, so hoping he does well there, along with Churro Sanchez from Burgos. So I've got Sanchez from Burgos in this team, and I've got Churro Sanchez from Burgos in that team, spreading the Burgos boys as well, because they've got a good fixture, even though they're not that great in the league. I think it's like 16th v 17th, something like that. So bit of a 3-pointer for Burgos, so hoping they deliver. Then we get to my love, the meat and bones. My main focus, Premier League in season, where I've got some tricky fixtures this week. So I'm going to be, mainly because Nottingham Forest are playing Manchester United away. So all of those cards don't feel as good, especially with Manchester United having a bit of momentum now with their new manager. I just don't feel confident away at Manchester United. Nottingham Forest do seem to be losing at the moment against the big teams and scraping wins against the smaller teams. So I'm a little bit concerned about their form. However, I've invested in them now. We've got to stick by them. So hoping they can just see out this little hard fixture run. It's Manchester United away this week, but then the fixtures will get easier sort of in the weeks going forward. We've got Man City out of the way. We've got Liverpool out of the way. We've got Manchester United out of the way. So I'm playing the Forest cards mainly in this lineup, which is my Division 5 super gamble lineup, where if it doesn't work out, I can't get relegated. So I've got nothing to lose here. But my serious lineups, we're going to be going for Wolves. I'm basically going for Wolves in my in-season, Cunha and Larson. But then I'm also going, maybe both of these teams are not in form. Someone maybe wins this. Someone does well here. So Wolves I'm going for in my in-season, and West Ham, I'm putting 4 West Ham cards in my classic lineup with Nicholas Jackson, who's been rested midweek and should play against Spurs. So my best classic Premier League team will be West Ham. My best in-season team will be Wolves, and I'll be hoping one of those teams smashes the other. Probably help me if it's Wolves. So Cunha and Larson are in this team. Estupinan, Leicester away, quite a nice fixture for Brighton. Cole Palmer going to be captain, and then Sells, my only in-season goalkeeper, will be there. Who knows? Maybe he has lots of saves against Manchester United. Then we're going to be backing strongly Bournemouth, who have got Ipswich away. Very nice fixture for Bournemouth. So we're going for 2 defenders and a goalkeeper. Really hoping they can keep a clean sheet away for Ipswich. And then Evan Nielsen, Mr. Lively, in really good form, hoping he can smash it and get a goal or 2 against Ipswich. Not super unheard of. And then Nicholas Dominguez. I don't have any good Premier League midfielders really in season. I've got just lots of injuries. I've got Adam Wharton who's injured. I've got Morgan Gibbs-White who's got a bit of an injury. And Nicholas Dominguez didn't play last week. So he is a little bit uncertain. If I do get team news right before the deadline that Lewis Cook from Bournemouth will play, I'll chuck him straight in this team. And it'll be a full 5 Bournemouth stack. And then this lineup, like I said, a complete punt. Totti, who knows? Who knows what we're going to get there? 3 Forest cards. And then Jorgensen is a real punt. He did play for Chelsea against Southampton, but Chelsea rested a lot of players midweek, and it was almost like it was a Conference League game where they had Jorgensen, defenders were rested. I think only Palmer and Enzo Fernandez were like the first team players that were playing. The rest of the team seemed to be the B team. So I don't know if the manager's finally seen the light and is going to rest and not play Sanchez. I don't think Sanchez should be in that first team. I think Jorgensen should be in the team. And against Southampton, he made a lot of good saves. So I'm putting him in this team because maybe he gets in the team now. I really hope so. As a Chelsea fan, I think he's a more exciting goalkeeper, makes less mistakes than Sanchez. But also B, from a Sorare point of view, I've got his card. It would really help me out if he became a Premier League playing goalkeeper. So let's see what happens here. If he does, he's in this complete gamble Division 5 lineup this week. West Ham boys and Jackson are my classic team. And then I've also got a second classic team, which I'm not going to put in this team, because this team could possibly be a Division 3 team next week, and I'm not feeling that confident about it. So it's going to go in this Division 4 team. Nick Pope, Newcastle in not a great form, but they have just drawn against Liverpool. So maybe that gives Newcastle a bit of confidence. If it does, Brentford away, maybe they keep a clean sheet. Maybe, come on, Nick Pope. Then I'm going for 2 Chelsea boys, Cucurella and Lavia. Lavia does seem to play in the kind of bigger games where Enzo wants a bit more defensive solidity in the middle. So usually it's Lavia and Caicedo, and then Enzo in front of him or Palmer in front of him. So hoping Lavia plays. Really like Lavia as a player. He's not been scoring so well in Sorare. And I did possibly get a little bit too excited about him as a player and went for his in-season card, hoping that this would be his breakthroughs year, which it still could be. It's just that his scores have been a little bit slow in terms of Sorare. Very exciting player in real life. However, when he's been playing for Chelsea, here, 40, 43, 36. A good game against Newcastle, but it does seem... I got really excited about him here. I got him after these 2 scores. I was like, this is it. And it hasn't quite paid out. But I think he's a really good player. He's going to be a really good player for Chelsea in the future. So I've invested in him. And hopefully he can get kick-started, get those big scores back. Let's see. Fulkrug is another gamble because he's probably not going to start for West Ham, but he came off the bench last week, finally. Scored his first goal for the club. It's just... Again, West Ham are in such a bad place. What are they going to do? Who knows? Will he play? Who knows? I'm giving him the captaincy because if this lineup does well, it's going to need him to come off the bench or start and do well. So he might as well be the captain. And then Dwight McNeil, good scores lately, but tricky fixture this week away at Liverpool. I do think Liverpool are going to smash them. I do think Salah's going to do really well. I think I've got a warm-up league somewhere where I've gone for Liverpool. Yeah, here, Salah captain. I do think Liverpool will do well, but... Maybe Dwight McNeil gets a goal involvement, does something. So that's going to be my Premier League classic teams. There's a warm-up league. Then it gets really quiet. So like I said, it does seem to be Premier League in season and the specials is what I'm focusing on at the moment. PSV have got a nice fixture this week, so I'm going to be backing them, as well as David Farner, who's got a good fixture. They're playing 6th, they're playing 19th. Under 23, I think I've got a good under 23 lineup this week. Classic under 23. I think I've got a good lineup here. Santiago Jimenez has scored 2 in 2, both goals off the bench. So he's due a start. He's came off the bench in the last 2 games, scored in both 2 games. Give him the start. Come on. Then I've got 2 Cercle Bruges guys who are playing out of form Union SG this year. Union SG not been at the top of the table where they've been in previous years. So hoping Cercle Bruges can give them a thrashing. Genk, I've got a really good fixture, so I'm going to be captaining my Genk midfielder, Yanni Stukas, who usually does well for me. And then Big Obed in goal. And then a warm-up league here, which I do like looking at the warm-up lineups. They do look really exciting. Diallo, Palmer, Bellingham, Trubin, and then Destiny Udogi. Very exciting team. Just need them all to smash, please. And then some training lineups. So those are my lineups. I feel like I'm reducing my lineups, but maybe getting a few more boxes. So maybe it's working, this strategy. Let's see if it pays off. Let's see what happens. Good luck with your coming game weeks, people. Good luck with your weekends. I'll see you next week. Peace.